Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from Replicant Fish. Self-entitled women are shock. Men don't want them. Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. See that chow. It's chow time.
I would rather be single for the rest of my life than be in a relationship with someone who habitually embarrasses me and the way they disrespect me in our relationship.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it won't be difficult for you to be a cat lady if you want to. It's
Pretty
your
easy.
choice.
I just think it's so funny that y'all really came up with a term for people who don't like you. Like when someone doesn't like you. Avoidant attachment. He's an avoidant attachment. Shut the f up. He doesn't like you.
Interesting. Avoidant attachment is an attachment style a child develops when their parent or main caretaker doesn't show care or responsiveness past providing essentials like food and shelter. Damn. The child disregards their own struggles and needs in order to maintain peace and keep their caregiver close.
He left me.
So this is why a lot of modern women have come up with a term to describe dating a man that doesn't like them.
He's an avoidant attachment. Shut the f up. He doesn't like you.
Avoidant attachment,
Right.
for sure.
At 1 p.m. today, a man texted me to cancel our date, saying that he was tired today. I reminded him that our date was actually scheduled for tomorrow. He never responded.
Watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing, but it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over after 12 years of starting over, of wondering if I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head with my boys and not being able to just go out and play in our backyard like we used to, and wondering if I'm going to be able to feed them.
Sad, emotional woman. But I mean, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? From her own words, she walked away.
I walked away.
The grass wasn't greener. She didn't trip and fall over onto a rich phallus. You get the point. Gotta be careful what I say. This is why I remind men never to need a woman.
But
Yep.
how?
You will want her, of course. You're a man. It's built into you by nature to damn want a woman. Unless they drive you crazy enough. Never need them.
Why?
In other words, be able to do everything in your damn life by yourself as a man. Never need a woman. Have her in your life if you have one. Want her because you may want her. Need her?
Nope.
Woman, I can do everything myself. Are you a blessing or a curse to me? She walked away.
I walked away.
Whose fault is that? She was so self-entitled, she thought she would get better. But he's the one thriving. Never need her.
And play in our backyard like we used to,
Oh, of course.
and wondering if I'm going to be able to feed them.
Oh.
You know, when they tell you that being single at 30 is the scariest thing in the entire world, this is what it could look like for you. It could be a Friday evening and you are by yourself with your dog, he's out there, in a brand new city, watching the sunset go down with a hot cup of tea in your hand. No kids to worry about, no husband to worry about. Just you, your dog, your tea, and the sunset. That is what you have to fear, kids. If you're single by the time you're 30, that is what you have to fear. Life could...
Fear? Is it fear? Oh, she's doing reverse psychology. Oh, living in luxury. Her and her little doggy.
Right.
Yeah, on the beach.
You can totally tell this is a cope from her. Like, you can see how she's looking at the camera, how she's smiling fakely.
80+ years old. Oh, scary. Yeah, we get the point she's trying to make.
look like this. I know it sounds horrible. They really have us out here believing that life without a man is somehow scary and horrible and not beautiful. And while I would love a partnership someday that enhances my life on my own, it is absolutely magic.
Magic, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's magical and lovely and very idyllic and picturesque. It's a lovely locale. You get the point. You get the point. Why is the 30 content, why is that topic so rich and concentrated? Why is it?
Love me. Pick me.
You see, when I started making content, I noticed myself it was a rich topic. That's why I clung to it myself. Partially because I was in the age bracket when I started making content. I was in my early 30s. And from my own experience, I noticed women leading up to 30 and in the early 30s were acting very different. So from my own experiences, I noticed women were acting peculiar, if you will. Some would say desperate. Yeah. Yeah, you can say that. So over these years, the understanding of why the 30 topic is so popular for women has just made sense. It's like, oh, now I understand. It makes perfect sense. Because regardless of what men say, misogyny.
True. After I got divorced, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't understand everything. Everything makes sense now.
Whatever. Women themselves know. They know the truth. I mean, there's only so far you can go. There's only so many times you can be careful what I say. Have as much fun. Get laid down as much as possible. There's only so much you can do that before you realize. Yeah. I can get done quite a lot, but no men want to stay. Sadly, for a lot of women, the hype a lot of men give them, the simping a lot of men do for them, makes them believe they're that important. When the reality is a lot of men just wanting to get their members moist.
Disgusting.
I can probably get away with that, I think.
Beautiful. And while I would love a partnership someday that enhances my life on my own, it is absolutely magic.
Happy Substance Abuse Summer, guys. Healing Healthy Girl era was last summer. It is out. Substance Abuse Summer is in. What substances are we abusing today, guys?
It is so much harder to love a real one than it is to be in relationship with a fraud.
Say that again for the people in the back.
It is so much harder to be in relationship with a real one than it is to be with a fraud. It's just hard.
The real ones hold you accountable. I hold my girls accountable all the time the girls I'm dating. I'm not saying I'm dating with women, but I always try to teach them. I always try to guide them the best as possible. Why? Because I care for these women.
Hard because someone who holds you accountable to who you say you want to be, someone who recognizes your potential but meets you where you are, someone who wants your vulnerability. Like, I want to know how you think. I want to know why you made the choices you made. It requires a level of intimacy that you never have to do when you're just trying to see if someone's cheating and checking phone messages.
Exactly. If you notice a lot of women's content, you notice to complain about a lot of similar things, don't you? The similar archetypes of men. Now, as men, some of us understand why this is. We know it.
He's an avoidant attachment. Shut the up. He doesn't like you.
But going back to avoidant attachment, this word women they keep using to describe men. Yeah, sure. And they realize a lot of men never really liked him and he was just using her. Was he using her? Was he? A woman that likes you enough will lie to herself. She will lie to herself. This is also why some men understand, never need her. Want her, you may, of course. Need? She should be so lucky. Avoidant attachment simply because men that actually have tried to deal with a lot of modern women in a real intimate way realize, hey, what is wrong with her? She's crazy. She can't handle me just being normal with her, treating her like she's human.
But it's an illusion.
Exactly. This is where a lot of men have learned to never be the first man.
The first girlfriend that I had after my ex-wife was just like this.
To treat her good, well, like a human being, like she's actually worth something. Never be the first man to do so. Now, for as horrible as it sounds, understand if women understand this avoidant.
I agree with him trying not to be the first one. It really kind of affected me in a way because I wasn't fully red-pilled at that time yet. So I was kind of stupid about everything.
Attachment so much, and it's normal for them to deal with so many of those men. You being a man who's not that, you're gonna mess up. You've lost from the beginning.
He's an avoidant attachment. Shut the up. He doesn't like you.
A lot of it is portrayed that it's your fault as a man when it's like, bro, it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. Some women, you come across are just broken beyond repair. They need broken men to try to fix, to in turn fix themselves.
You don't have to be vulnerable in those relationships. You got to be tough. You got to be strong. You got to be hard. But now here comes someone that says, I want to be your soft place. And you got to figure out, how do I tear these walls down? And you have to figure out, how do I give this language? And how do I let them know up underneath this strength that there is still a broken 13-year-old girl, a broken 15-year-old girl. And I got to let you see her and to let you see how she sometimes gets upset and flares up. And it's petrifying to let someone that closely into your space.
And that's why I refer to broken and traumatized women as Jennies. Because even if their trauma has turned them into a villain, they're still a villain to the men who...
This literally reminds me of my ex-girlfriend, the first girlfriend I had after my divorce. She was very much like this. And I was still into her. But You know, as I got more red pill, I got more into making content and stuff like that. It really changed me, and then she didn't like the change.
Who fall in love with them.
I have always been very against the sprinkle movement, and a lot of people ask me, oh, but Emily, isn't it a great empowering thing for women? No, it is not. It's a domestic violence trap. Okay, because you all forget that rich men are abusers too. For some reason, a lot of people seem to think that only poor men can be shitty. Only lazy dudes that don't want to work shitty. I've, for some time now, have helped women domestic violence situations. And let me tell you, a lot of people that are not familiar with this line of work, they tend to think that majority of those women in those situations are from impoverished backgrounds. No. A lot of them, majority of them, are very well off financially. Specifically, their partners are very well off financially. And the worst cases, the more complex and difficult cases, are usually when the partner is very well off financially. Any sort of cutthroat advice for women when it comes to dating is going to be some type of domestic violence trap.
Okay, from a woman making a point that a lot of this rich man, find a rich man, you'll be happy with a rich man. The point is, rich doesn't mean better, broke doesn't mean worse. We understand it, and vice versa, so on and so forth. But there is an understanding about a lot of women that men, no, if it's good enough, she'll accept it. For instance, an unattractive man can't really get away with a lot with women. A good-looking man, he can get away with so much. If she likes him, she's attracted to him, he can get away with so much. Same with broke and rich. 50 Shades of Grey. If he was a broke dude in a shed, that would be torture, wouldn't it? Yeah, but he's a billionaire, isn't he? So it's sexy, it's spicy, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Now, even if these things are natural in women, you want to say they're natural, whatever, these perspectives make women seem very shallow and very self-entitled.
He's an avoidant attachment. Shut the up. He doesn't like you.
So a lot of men understand you deserve what you get. Even the rich men that date women and treat them bad, they understand, woman, you're with me because of more money. If I was broke, you wouldn't be with me. You deserve to be treated like this because you're not going anywhere. Damn right. Is she? A lot of them can leave, but they don't.
Okay, any sort of manipulation that women have to do in order to get rich men are dumb as fuck, because they forget that these dudes are smart as hell and they have women like this in their lives on a daily. Okay, there are lines of women with all these like little manipulation and little tricks on a daily basis. Okay, you're not the first one.
Exactly.
If they have chosen you, it's for a reason. And rich men date other rich women. Rich men marry other rich women. If they're with you for any reason, it's usually not good.
Yeah, broke women are shocked when they get treated like broke men.
You're not worth $300.
I don't know if anyone else is a member of one of these groups where people post who they're dating and then people comment if like they've had a bad experience with them or if they're dating them as well. I think it's a really good idea for girls to kind of know who they're dealing with, right? But I saw this the other day and I was too stunned to speak, to be honest. The guy was going to have lunch with her for a first date, but now he wants to go around for cuddles and he's offered to pay half the bus fare. Half the bus fare.
Okay, all right. This is the other end of the spectrum of the point I just made. However, this man is still a provider of some kind. He's a 50-50 dude. He hasn't got much money. He's willing to pay half of her bus fare. So you can say to a degree he does care, or to a degree he does not give an F. Because I mean, it's okay. I'm trying not to laugh, obviously.
Ruthless.
Inviting a woman around for cuddles. To be honest, that is kind of cheap, to be honest.
Girls, we've got to put these guys in their place. We've got to tell them how it is. Like, this isn't acceptable. This is actually embarrassing. I actually can't. I'm shook. I'm shook at some of the things I see in these groups, and it just shows, like, we have to keep our standards high with these guys and let them know what our standards are, because if they don't, they honestly will just try and take the piss. Like, this is shocking.
Really? He was probably just being generous with what he had. I don't think he was really taking the...
They will just try and take the piss. Like, this is shocking.
I was with a friend of mine yesterday, and we were getting a piece of pizza. And one of the guys behind the counter, he was so cute. And we did have a little smile exchange. And she goes, oh my gosh. And then she goes, I hope you have to teach me how to flirt. And I was like, well, okay. So I just wrote my number down on a napkin. And I gave it to him. And she was like, I can't believe you did that so easy. What if he has a girlfriend? And I said, what? I'll probably never hear from that guy. I don't care about him. I don't know him. He might have a girlfriend. I hope he does. I bet she's beautiful.
Wow.
And I think he treats her well. You don't give your number away. You don't flirt because you really, really want something. You just flirt because it's fun. What? Who cares about that guy? You think I'd ever actually like him? No offense, he works at a pizza shop.
Wow. Passive aggressive, isn't she? Yeah,
Right.
she's getting dragged for that line right there. She wouldn't date him, he works in a pizza shop. She casually gave him her number because she doesn't care. She literally doesn't care. Think of how many women have done that. Now, she's judging him because he works in a pizza shop. Obviously, a lot of women are saying, well, come on, he doesn't have much money like she's saying. He's a brokey, yeah? And this goes back to the point I was making. Look how different would she have treated him if he was the owner of that, if he was the owner of 10, 15 pizza shops, franchises, whatever, yeah? And he was a millionaire, would she have treated him different? Yes, she would have.
He's an avoidant attachment. Shut the up. He doesn't like you.
A lot of modern men understand.
Money.
A lot of women are so self-entitled. They don't deserve to be.
I had a young guy comment down below. I was like, who are we supposed to date if we're so young? And you're supposed to date the people your age group, but they just don't like you yet because you don't have resources. It can't be helped. Women want resources. It's what attracts them the most. You don't get those resources until you're later in life, guys. This is why we just tell you guys just to focus. Focus on yourself, work on your body, work on your health, work on your money. And then women come. They literally just come.
Treated well.
This is trash AF.
Or even deserve to be wanted more than for a quick fling, even if they lie. Just saying.
But anyways, this is your sign. Give your number away today. When you give it away, don't expect anything because it's not for them. It's for you.
The thing about self-entitled women is men would still mess around with them and have their fun with them because a lot of men understand I'm just going to watch her crash and burn. Like a supermassive star, she'll explode very quickly of her own self-destructive chemical reaction. Have a nice day.
Shout out to Replica Fish. He isn't wrong. They do burn bright and fast. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.